Hey everybody!
Hey, guess where we are?
We are at, wait a second, guess. We are at, go ahead Kathy.
We're at Home Depot.
And we are going to go around and show you some things that you can get as a teacher. You can get for free to use in your classroom. And you can also get some things that, we're going to point out things that cost money too.
Just a little bit of money though, not a lot, not big bucks.
Yeah, and you may have it lying around your house actually. So we're going to show you some cool things you can get at Home Depot for your classroom. Stay tuned.
See you soon.
Okay, so here are a bunch of different types of plungers. We're going to show you some examples. And these are awesome, as many of you know.
Aisle 2,
for
kids.
Painting, aisle 2. So there's all different kinds. There's tall ones, there's short ones.
These are great for toddlers. Toddlers love to walk around and just bash the plunger down.
Yep, good for
onto-
frustrated kids too.
$2.98.
Yep, very
Unless you get a
cheap.
heavy duty one, which you don't need for painting.
No, so there you go. There's one thing. Okay,
You do this and
so
I'll,
these are just plastic tubes. As you can see, this one is making a cool sound, and they are not expensive whatsoever. They're not PVC necessarily, but they're just kind of plastic. So they can, I mean, you don't have money for blocks, but guess what? These would be awesome in your block area.
And you can attach them all different ways.
Switch them around.
You can switch them around. Some of them have little curves and turns, so children can do all kinds of cool things with
And
these.
literally, most of them are all under $4. That's pretty cool. These here, these are the dryer vent things. So if you have any hanging around at home, they are very cool again to put in your block area to let kids explore with. They can use them as tubes to drop things down.
Inside or outside.
Inside or outside. And also, I had some kind of soft ones one time in my classroom, and the kids on their own made astronaut suits out of them, so it was pretty cool. So there you go. Very cool. Okay, so Kathy has in her hand some tubes. Good, Kathy.
This is a bilge pump discharge hose, and it is $8, so it's a little more expensive than we wanted. But these clear tubes, there's all kinds of them on this bottom row, and we're in the plumbing aisle, the PVC aisle. Look at these neat tubes. If you're not with toddlers, you could put something down and up and down and things inside and outside, and they're clear so you can see through them. They're really neat. These are a little more expensive than we want, but if your center has a budget or you have a budget, this would be a fun aisle to visit. Maybe create a water wall outside, and you can have hoses and tubes and all kinds of cool things coming down for the kids to engage with.
And also, if you know a plumber or someone in
Absolutely.
the field, maybe they have some leftovers that
Or
they
a
can
pool
let you
company,
have. Pool
somebody who
company.
works for a pool company or landscaping, hit them up. Ask them for some donation.
Okay, so here we are with the PVC, and there's all different kinds of elbows and tubes that will connect together that kids can play with. And there's some big sizes, which would be awesome for toddlers, and then smaller sizes, which you can use with preschoolers and older. But these are very cool for kids to play with outdoors or in the block area, wherever. It's pretty cool. Another good hint too, if you have a child who talks very loud, especially at group time,
Like me?
Here's an idea.
Hello. Hello.
If you have the child use one of these, this one actually might even be. There's some that actually go right like an old-fashioned phone, and when they speak into it, they have to lower their voice because it's so loud.
Yes.
So it's kind of cool. So that's a good idea too, to use something like that with kids.
This is the one for those kids who talk really loud.
Yes.
It's a perfect fit.
And when you use it, it hurts your ears when you talk
It does
so
a little
loud.
bit. This would be great to have for all kids to be able to use, or use it at circle time for them to realize how loud they might be, or how each child gets a certain turn to talk when it's their turn. This might be a nice device for a talking stick. They're making an announcement. Paint rollers. We often use paintbrushes, and we should use the types of paintbrushes that real painters use, not just paintbrushes that you can get at the art store or the early childhood stores. But this is great for a toddler. Look how small this is. And this is $1.97. I forget how much this was. But you can just put water in this and have it as an outdoor activity, and kids can paint the walls and the sidewalks and the cement around your building. Bigger kids can use bigger paint trays and rollers. You can certainly do this inside, but I think it's a great outdoor thing with or without paint.
And also, there's all different types of paintbrushes that you can pick from. All different sizes and shapes. And there are inexpensive ones as well as expensive.
These are all free. And if you look inside, you'll see architecture. You'll see engineering, you'll see colors, you'll see natural wood colors and things like that. These are excellent to have in your block area. Lots of times I know you have kids that like to be in the block area and they don't necessarily like to go to the writing area or the art table. This is bringing language, literacy, and art to them, as well as STEM, engineering, technology kinds of standards. So excellent. They're all free. Grab as many as you can and have a bunch of them in a nice basket in your block area.
Okay, so again, we're talking about free stuff, and we don't necessarily want you to go and be like, you know, kind of gross and take
Well,
way
honestly,
too many.
I just can't decide which color I want to do my new floor. So I'm going to take one of each of these samples home with me.
Yeah, we don't want to get too greedy. We
Right.
want to keep Home Depot in business. But these are free samples, and wouldn't these be cool in a block area? I mean, really, look at those. Those are awesome.
And use them with the kids. Don't use them for coasters at your bar. Use them with the kids in your program.
Woo! Free, so you can take a sampling of those. And again, don't be too greedy. We don't want to make them stop putting them out because all the teachers in the Northeast region have come out and taken them all. But look at that. So cool to put in
They're
your block area.
fabulous.
Awesome.
Outside play too.
Outside, inside, in a dollhouse. So cool.
Yep.
Why isn't it going on? Here we are. We're in the linoleum section, and this is something that we have that we think works really well. You can put them out for children to work on individually. You can put the big ones out for children to work together. But for the most part, we want you to know that, look at them.
This is 75 cents for this giant linoleum tile. And Leanne had mentioned that she's used these before and they can get really sticky. So if you take two of them and attach them together, you'll have a work surface that kids can share two at a time on here and work together, or it can delineate space for them to have their self-regulation while they're working on something messy.
Pretty good and super cheap. They are 75 cents, $1.34. So it's something that you can definitely want to use.
So here are the floor tiles again, and we weren't as clear as we might have been. If you peeled the sides off, they're really sticky. So put two of them together so that kids can use these as a building surface. Imagine these with other blocks in the block area, and they're building levels or stories of a home or a building outside to use as ramps, things like that. What can you do with these? Tell us what you can do with your linoleum floor tiles.
Okay, so here we go.
Freebies, more freebies. These are carpet samples. And once again, don't put Home Depot out of business, but these would be great for kids to be able to have different textures, different shapes. Add all these things. There's a whole aisle full of them to your block area, your outdoor area, your building supplies, art, 3D art. Awesome. So, do you have a dripper flipper? This is in aisle 16. And it's a piece of a gutter. It's plastic. It only costs $6, $5.90. And I can just envision children putting a ball or something that might roll in there and flipping it down, and then maybe taking a tape measure at the other end and a piece of chalk and having a nice little event that could be a whole lot of fun for a very small amount of money.
We need to put that in our carriage because we love that.
Yeah, we're gonna buy one.
We're getting one of those. Those are cool. Here's some other things we found in the gutter section. But how cool would these be for rolling balls and all kinds of fun stuff that
Yeah.
they would figure out what to do with
And
them.
these are great for toddlers and babies too. They're not gonna get hurt on these things, and they're big enough so that you can have big balls that roll down.
Very cool stuff. Here's some more things we found, and other ideas are maybe water walls you can use with these things outdoors. Look at that. I mean, that is so cool. Children, you can hang them up and children can just pour water in and out of them. Fun stuff. Okay, so here we are, and
We want to get down aisle 9. Really
Aisle
badly
9.
want to get down aisle 9, but look what they did to it. They closed it. This is how kids feel when you close the block area or you close the dramatic play. And let me tell you, if I go to TJ Maxx and they close the shoe department, I'm not going to be very happy. So,
Yep, so
Here
stop
we go.
closing. Okay, we just came across these, and these are just different dishes in the plant section, but you could sort little loose parts in them and put materials out, put paint out. Very cheap, 48 cents, 78 cents, so there you go.
this would be nice to have your own little paint palette so
There
you
you
don't have
go.
to share a lot of paint with the person next to you.
Kathy just put keys inside one of the dishes, and I want to tell you that what we did was we asked them at the key department if they had any keys that were dead that you couldn't use, that they made a mistake on or whatever. And the man literally took them out of the box and handed them to us. So now we have some keys to add to a loose parts collection. Very cool. Okay, so now we're in the rock section, and we found this patio stone, and you may have these lying around your house even, who knows. But these patio stones are great for having kids use paintbrushes and water, and they could draw paint on them.
Chalk,
You can also have them use
anything.
chalk, anything at all. Very cool. And also they could paint on them if they wanted to. Love those. Okay, so
We're done.
we're done. We went through Home Depot. We've showed you lots of things you can get for free or low cost, or something you can find a tradesman to ask them if they can give it to you.
So next time your spouse or loved one says, I'm going to Home Depot, honey, hop in the car and go with them, because you can get some bargains too.
There you go. Thanks. Bye.